Welcome to this edition of Council Corner. Today we're talking with Councilwoman Joyce Dickerson. She's a representative from Council District 2. Welcome, Ms. Dickerson.
Thank you so much, Ms. McDaniel. It's so good to be here. You know I get excited about a camera. I love it.
And I get excited about talking to you. It's always very interesting. What does it mean to you that the citizens of Richland County chose you to represent them?
I think it's a privilege and it's also an honor. I tell you, when I run up and down Broad River Road or go to Blythewood or travel the back roads and watch, as someone told me, the foxes and see the birds and the horses, I tell you I get so excited about the pristine land that we have here. And first of all, I am privileged. It's an honor for the people of Richland County District 2 to have chosen me, elected me for 3 terms to represent them. And I just hope that I have been the representative that they, the one that they would love to have, and they know that they have great access to me at all times. And so I think it's an honor. I am honored. I really am humbly honored that they have chosen me for 3 times to represent them.
Now, it used to be a time on council where there were 4 women sitting up there, and now we're down to 2. What would you say to other women that are thinking about getting into the political landscape? How would you encourage them?
Well, I'm in my communities all the time, and everywhere I go, I see we are always outnumbered. Elected officials are elected women officials are always outnumbered. And basically what I'm trying to encourage women is to take the time in their busy schedule to get involved in politics, because we have the largest number of voters. Women make up the largest number of voters, especially here in South Carolina. And it's so important for them to have an input as to how the school boards operate, basically how council operate, how the legislature operate. Just think, right now in the state of South Carolina, we only have 1 female senator, just 1, and that is unacceptable. So everywhere I go, I'm always encouraging women. Even though it's a lot of work, it's not as hard, I don't think, as most people think it is. And you can juggle a schedule and be an effective voice, for women on council. We have to be engaged and informed. So I think women should, think about it. Get out there and run. Forget about the money, because if that's the case, I wouldn't be here. And so, because you can make a difference, and your voice needs to be, the women's voices need to be heard. If you think about the last vote of the justice, that should tell you that we need more women, serving locally, statewide, and nationally.
Thank you.
It's not hard.
I would agree. I would agree. If you had to talk about any major accomplishment that you've had since your time on council, what would that accomplishment be?
Well, first of all, I think it was the study that we were able to get funds, a lot of funds, to do a Broad River Road Corridor study. And the Broad River Road Corridor is my heart. I called you last week and we had a long chat about my Broad River Road Corridor, and I want to put everyone on notice that has property along that corridor, that you will be put on notice, because right now I drove up and down that corridor this past weekend, and it's horrible. It is horrible because the people who own the property lease those properties, and the leasees do not cut the grass, take care of the property. So that I asked you last week to put them on notice that they will be taking care of that corridor, because it's important. If that corridor is run down, we cannot attract businesses along that corridor. So the better we keep it, the better the aesthetics are along the corridor. I think the more attractive businesses we will be able to attract to that corridor, and that's important. But I think overall, the most important part that I had a part of that overlapped almost all 3 of my terms here on council has been the passing of the penny. I went on there to make sure that this county and this city would have a beautiful transportation system. And now when I see the Comet running up and down the Broad River Road corridor and other corridors, I'm so excited to know that I was a part of making sure that Richland County and the city of Columbia had beautiful and convenient transportation for them to use, because I think it's so vital to our community. We could not afford not to have a transit system here in Richland County. Being the capital, it was not an option. So those 2 things are very important. The rest of my county is okay, but those 2 things were very important.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, with all of the buzz going on about Fort Jackson, of course, Fort Jackson provides more than $16 billion in our economic development engine here in Richland County. They employ over 135,000 people. What would you say to the citizens to encourage them to speak out about saving Fort Jackson and keeping it here in South Carolina?
Well, you know, I'm a social media buff, and I love social media, and I think if it's important to them, if this, you know, Fort Jackson is vital to our community. I mean, just look at the housing. I mean, the housing, the residential things that they bring here. It helps the home builders because we're constantly building homes. It is a beautiful place for people to come and raise their children and recreate and work. That fort is so vital to this community. If we lose that fort or even start losing segments of that fort, it is going to have a tremendous economic negative impact on this community because it's going to force families to move. My husband and I are here in South Carolina because we were in Columbus, Ohio when they closed Rickenbacker. And we know firsthand how important that base was to that community. We came here because of Fort Jackson. We said, you know, Fort Jackson will be here, will be monumental. It's not going anywhere. And I will do all I can to encourage everyone who can, you know, tweet, link in, Facebook, call the chamber, get involved, because if that fort or any segment of that fort leaves, it's going to have a negative impact on this community. So I'm so, you know, encouraged to encourage others to make sure that they contact their leaders and ask them to have a, you know, have a voice for them. Call your representatives and tell them how important Fort Jackson is to this community.
I would agree. I think many people would agree with you. What quote or motto do you govern your life by?
I govern my life by working together we can achieve great things. That is my motto. If we work together, there's nothing we can't do. But when we have agitators, not, you know, advocators, that is so devastating. So I said, working together, there is nothing that we can do, nothing that we can achieve.
Any final thoughts?
I just want to tell the citizens of Richland County, and especially District 2, how excited I am to be their representative. The past 9 years have been so wonderful. I've met so many beautiful people. We've had our challenges, and we will continue to have our challenges. But I am so pleased to work with my neighborhood presidents, the Richland County CAT team. Working together, we have here again, working together, we can achieve great things. Then that helps us to have a greater community. We've been able to address a lot of negative things in the community, cutting grass. You know, we looked at parking cars on the lawn. All of these things we have done community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood. And I want you to know that every neighborhood is very distinct, okay? Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're in Pine Valley, that's not Emerald Valley. If you're in Emerald Valley, that's not Bonnie Forest, okay? So if you're in Cedar Creek, that's not the landowners. You have to understand that Round Top, they are all unique, every one. And when I go in them, it's hard to leave. So I love serving the people. I'm excited about it. I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunity, and I look forward to serving them in a greater capacity.
Well, thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so very much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you for watching this edition of Council Corner. Until next time.